Christmas Eve here in Waikiki. Coming out of Ross. I gotta do just about every day. Say what you want about Aryan people, Caucasians, but they appear to be the only kind of people that understand personal space. No one else, like, even that knows that this is a thing, like a concept. In line at Ross, and there's these two Asian gay dudes. Oh, I think they're gay. Whatever, there's a lot of gay people here. But anyway, he was so close to my ear. He was behind me. He was so close to my ear, I could feel the moistness of this man. I could feel that he had a high moisture content. And he was speaking in his native tongue. And it's like, oh, right into my ear. And I'm like, I didn't freak out because I do that. I gotta keep the freakouts to a minimum here. It's, it's bad. So I just kind of turned around and I looked at him. And he didn't move, but he just kind of looked away. He turned his head and started coughing. I'm like, all right. He's not trying to be a dick. That's the whole thing. Like, when no one wants to give me space, they're not trying to be assholes. It's just they don't know that human beings like kind of having at least 6 inches around them at all times, and to get on top of someone's shit like that is just gross, especially whatever. But yeah, it's like they don't understand that. And it's like, it's not like they're not being dickheads. You couldn't explain it to them. They wouldn't know what you were talking about. There's that thing too where, like, if you're in line especially, I don't know if they're doing this in their front brain, and this is everybody, this isn't just Asian people, this is some more than others for sure, but they try to create a pressure behind you so that in their thought process, which I believe is a subliminal thought process, is they can move you forward better or move you along quicker. Even if you're waiting, I've gone through this in my mind so many times. I'm like, dude, you can push me forward all you want, but with your fucking mind, but the rubber hits the road at the register. I can't, we're not going to get there sooner. And I'm just in there now. And I'm just like, the thing is, right, if I don't put let me explain this. The line has, like, shelving on each side to help create the line, because otherwise people would be cut in front of each other. They do that everywhere here. If there's not a set up place, people fight over, they'll just walk right in front of each other. Again, certain people more than others. But so I got my arm on the thing, because if I don't have my arm on the shelf, people start shopping around my dick. Like they'll start grabbing things on the shelves that are around my fucking genital area, and it freaks me out. I just don't want people that close to me, My wife, that's it. Unless you're my wife, get the fuck away from me. So anyway, I got my arm on the thing, and I feel this hand, this soft hand on my arm, and it pushes my arm forward. And it's like this older Romanian woman. I'm guessing she's Romanian just by looking at her, with a baby in her arms. I don't mind, I'm not gonna freak out on her, but don't fucking touch me. Don't touch me. You could have fucking Romanian germs. What the fuck you come over here with? Count Dracula fucking virus. It's like, fucking, yeah, come on, man, don't. Like, not even like a tap or just a push. Like I was a fucking turnstile or something. Like, oh, I pushed through here. And again, she's not being a jerk. She doesn't have any idea that what she's doing is fucked up. And a lot of these people from around the world don't have a problem with it. I think it's because in their countries, especially in Asian countries, they will kill each other over a bowl of noodles. Me and Neo watching this Chinese street vendor. He was selling, like, noodles in the street. And he's like, he wasn't giving them away, he's selling them. It was a woman, actually. And she's pouring them out into these little bowls. Very, very unhygienic. The whole scene, just filth. But, not like it. There's not in a slum. They're just in a city, but they're dirty. Like they, everything looks dirty. Using their hands for everything. So there's people crowding around to get the next fucking bowl of just noodles and some kind of dark mystery broth. And they are fucking killing each other to get to it. Killing each other. Like, as if there's no, like, there's no thought process going. There's all instinct, you know. There's this old woman getting her face pushed away. Like, there's these younger guys like pushing her face away because they want to be next. That kind of sums it up. So when I have dudes fucking behind me trying to give me rear entry, I just know it's not them, it's their culture. It's a cultural thing. It's funny, I usually say that for certain people. And I was watching this guy on YouTube talk. He was a Comicsgate thing. Eric July feuding with Ethan Ben Skyber. If you don't know this stuff, who cares? But he was if you have some kind of argument with black people, the timer turns on. And the timer starts going till when they're gonna fucking bring race into it. So at some point, he's like, well, I guess, you know, it must be a cultural thing. And it's like, that's what I say about you guys all the time. It was funny. Because, yeah, that's a nice way, or that's my low-key way of saying your behavior is fucking abhorrent, you know? So, yeah, with a lot of these people from around, people of the world, they just don't get that. But that's on the low end of concerns. The scarier part is the more substantial, life-affecting things that they don't get, you know? There's a certain, like, not many groups of people have living in a society down. You know, the people that built them do. They have an idea of how you can behave and act and what you should and shouldn't do, because they built them, so they kind of know, you know. But other than those specific people, and some Asians, you know, because in Japan they're very courteous. They learn in school, like first grade, they learn how to be clean and how to clean up after themselves, you know. That's awesome. You know, in the U.S. they fucking couldn't do that. It's good. That'd probably be racist or something, but in Japan it's fine. So they get it, kind of. It could be a subliminal thing, like if you don't build it, you don't care about it, you don't respect it, and you're not going to follow by its rules. If you can't build it and you can't even fathom of building it, you know, you really don't give a fuck. You'll burn it down, and well, that's what we've seen. That's what we've seen. You know, because you don't give a fuck. You didn't build this system. The problem is, though, well, you'll never, I was going to say, if you get to the point, but you'll never get to that point where, you know, people aren't able to build these things anymore because the builders are gone or have been put in a position where they can't create and build and make civilizations and societies. They're trying to do that, though. They want to get rid of those people because what they envision, in part, this whatever you call them, the conglomerate of lizard people, rogue Jews, bankers, Satanists, this group of people that are at the top. What they envision is a lot like that zombie movie. I think it was a Romero one. The third one, where all the rich people lived up in this nice building with all the shit, and all the people under them lived in what would be like a sewer, you know? People are just intense, everything's dirty. I mean, they started this a while ago with, you know, gutting the middle class. Being middle class today is fucking racist, you know? You can't be middle class. What are you, a white supremacist? You know, you can't make average median income. You know, so and not just for one specific kind of people, just for everyone kind of feels that way. Everyone, well, it's not that everyone's against this one group that built all this shit and keep things out. And I know there's that meme. There's like a couple of different groups that claim they built America. They fucking didn't. They didn't build shit. If they did, then look, why isn't that going on in their country? You know what I mean? It's not. because they didn't. It's bullshit. It's the stuff that they tell people. Some people are more trickable than others and are more likely to be subverted by worm tongue. You know, he's whispering in their ear, whether it's social media or regular media. You know, you would be the ruler of Antarctica if it wasn't for these middle-class white families. You could have been a doctor or a lawyer or a rocket scientist. You could have been anything you wanted, but they're holding you down. That goes on 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So like I was just mentioning the Eric July thing, of course at some point any kind of discussion is going to go toward that, because they're trained from birth that you're not responsible for anything. It's all these motherfuckers over here that built the place you live in. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. But their biggest trick, like their biggest thing, is getting different races to fight against each other, and we fucking step right up to it. You know, it'll go on forever, because again, you couldn't explain it to some people. Like you couldn't, if there was a point where you could take people's heads and say, hey, look, they're making us fight, because if we're busy fighting, we're not paying attention to them eating children. Okay, so we got to put our fucking heads together and come together. And then someone would yell, well, how come you have to be the leader? I want to be the, you know what I mean? And then just forget it. It's over at that point. It's over at that point. So you can't do anything about it. It's just another one of those things that you just have to quietly endure. That's what this is all about, man. It's endurance. But yeah, their whole thing is keeping us fighting, because to them, we're all the same. Like we're separating ourselves by race, by class, by sexuality, every little thing where you can separate yourself from someone else is what is done. People are compartmentalizing themselves and fracturing themselves in all these little groups. Those motherfuckers see us as one group. The slaves, you know, they see us all as one group. You know, they're bitch, basically. They know we can't come together. They know we can't come together. It's sad though, it sucks, because it's like we see ourselves as all these different things, but to them we're not. We're one fucking field of cattle squabbling over the fucking grass. Nice Christmas Eve though here. I'll try to get out later tonight and try to catch some of the madness. I'm imagining it'll be a little bit more subdued because it's Christmas, but no, people don't respect anything. What the fuck am I saying? You know, there'll be wild shit going on probably. I'll try to get some of it for you. Don't blame the teacher. I'll blame the school. Okay, this is where the drop's going to be made. I'm expecting 2 bands to pull up. There's going to be 4 guys coming out of each band. Christmas Eve here. It's like, I don't know, 9:30, something like that. So it's Christmas back on the mainland. I think it's Christmas morning there already. Not quite here though. I'm gonna take a walk up on Kalakaua. See what's going on. Oh, I got a car. I don't know if you caught that, but there's a car completely covered in Christmas lights. You better be driving real cool with all those lights on. Real fucking cool. Like when you're driving, it's like you would think like, well, I mean, it's Christmas. I don't think it was kind of. Usually, like when in a car, I try to be as low key as possible, you know, for obvious reasons. 6 seconds left. Oh, go, buddy. Kids are horsing around. they're they're doing horseplay. Not, not as many people out here as I figured. I imagine it's probably more up toward where I usually am, up the Ross Longs kind of area. This is the beach part. I usually come up here in the morning now when I drop me off at work. Or I walk her to work, and there's no actual dropping going on. Once again, Christmas has come very, very fast. It's weird, like there's this build-up, like about a month out, where it's like, oh yeah, it's coming. Oh yeah, it's coming. I have to get my share. Yeah, it's coming. We got to do all these things or whatever for whatever you're doing, and then like, boom, it's on you. It's just like the the bathtub scenario. You got a bathtub full of water. This is like kind of how this world is going, and you pull the plug on it, and it doesn't look like anything's moving. It's just like still looks full, still looks full, still looks full, until it's at the very end, and then it's just flying. It flies out down the fucking drain. That's what this world is currently. We're getting to that drain thing. I was just reading a comment from someone, and they were saying how I seem really angry all the time. And I did a video last week, the Talking to God one, about how that's what God said to me, in kind of in the God speaking way. We didn't, he didn't use words to have a conversation, but it was just, I explained how I communicate, how we discuss, and he said the same thing. And yeah, I do feel like that a lot. Sometimes when I edit these, I'm like, I don't seem very happy, because I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that I'm always talking about some kind of evil stuff, and that gets me upset, but yeah, I need to watch that kind of thing, because I don't want people to check in with me and be bummed out. This is a cool door. Usually when there's when the lights are off back there, you see it's still there. You can see it. See the ground. That's a cool effect. I think I do that every time I come by here. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, a lot of times I'm annoyed because I'm annoyed about or just I'll be whining about some kind of thing, about having to deal with people or something. There's this one dude today that I watch, and I don't know if I'm gonna put his thing up on the screen, even though it's only us here. He's still going through this thing where he doesn't, I don't know if he's trying to get away from doing YouTube stuff or videos, but he does like what I do, kind of talks about. Cops having a problem. Yeah, he does kind of like the same thing I do with the spirituality stuff, and he gets followed and stuff way more than I do. He seems like he's very a targeted individual. I don't get that so much here. There's been a couple instances where I feel like it may have been related, but I think people in Hawaii are just too lazy to actually do a good job. So if I was being watched, I don't think I'd probably know it. And plus, I'm always moving. I don't really hang around anywhere like I used to. When the first years I lived here, I would hang around up here. I used to hang around at that McDonald's over there on the corner. I used to just sit there all night with different people, local friends and stuff, who most of which are all gone. I'd be surprised if anyone over there I know anymore. But yeah, the lockdowns kind of ended that, right? Because you couldn't hang around anywhere anymore. And yeah, I'd just sit there all night. I'd sit there all night and just bullshit with people. You know, Neil would be working night shift back then, so you know, I just hang around with my friends over there. But yeah, I'm always moving. Like I'm not sitting still. So I don't know how that affects the TI thing, but I don't think I have that. But this guy anyway, getting back to on track here. This guy's having a lot of problems with that, and just the whole thing. Like he's like, you know, he's like. What he's saying really is he wants to take the blue pill again. I don't think he wants to, but he's like, you know, this being called on by God to do this. I don't want this kind of life anymore, and being looked at and followed, and you know, persecution from other Christians. He was having a big problem with, you know, telling them what to do. I don't like a lot of those people either. You know, I think they give God a bad name, you know, and it turns people away. It turns people away from it, you know, when they, you know. I was talking about on TV today. I was talking to him about it too. It's like if you don't pray a certain way, if you don't memorize the scripture or know this, if you sleep on your left side, you're going to hell. Everything is about how everyone is going to hell. It's just like, fucking, you're going to hell, you know? What the hell are you talking about? And I don't need like a mortal, you know, to tell me how my relationship with God is going to pan out. It's fucking retarded. So yeah, I don't like them either, for the most part. I mean, there's some good Christians. I mean, there's good people in all kinds of places, you know? Mostly bad, but, you know, good people in some places. Going over there. Oh God. That's a Grateful Dead thing hanging up in that store. I think it is, right? Yeah, it is. I'm not gonna zoom in on it and fuck the camera up, but it's some kind of surf shop or something, clothing surf shop, and they have a big giant Grateful Dead fucking thing hanging in the window. They were a total Tavistock Institute CIA operation, that band. A lot of that 60s stuff, the end of the 60s. Oh wow, this guy in front of me has a Grateful Dead shirt on right here. That is what you call synchronicity. All right, Carl. I concede, Mr. Young. It's Jung. That is definitely a synchronicity. I noticed a Grateful Dead thing on the window over there, lit up. And then I turn around after talking about it, and this man in front of me has a Grateful Dead shirt on. That's a legit one. That's a legit one. What does it mean? I don't know. Usually sometimes I like to follow synchronicities like that. Like, all right, Grateful Dead. Does this mean I should listen to them? Should I just bring them up on Spotify and see what happens? Because sometimes it does when you follow these synchronicities around. Sometimes, like, you know, that's how it works. There's a Duke. Like, if I were to say go home and listen to something from them on Spotify, it may then, a lyric might pop out at me that references something else, and then you follow that, and that's how it goes usually. And I used to do that, taking notes. I used to write down the times as synchronicities occurred, and when it started happening so much and so often, I was like, fuck this, I can never figure this out. This is some guy that could figure it out, but you know, there's only so much room on the board, you know, when you're tacking the string to them, and you run out of space after a while, especially something like that. You just kind of have to hope you're led there, you know, like that's what I always hope for anyway. I hope that, like, I'm led there, you know. I don't know, but yeah, that's something significant. Police station, they're usually hiding in there with the door closed. I'm surprised they don't put, like, fucking a sunglasses hut sign on there just to fucking try to hide. Oh, we're not the cops, we're the sunglasses hut. That's where all the surfboards used to be that got burned down twice. giant fire right next to the police station. That sums it up right there as far as you know, the cops here. Today, or was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. I'm coming up my street, and out on the side, and let me start again with the words in order this time. Coming up the street, and this guy is flying, and like this little white, like I don't know what kind of car it was. I don't want to throw the wrong thing out there, but anyway, I don't know why that matters to me. But he was flying, like he was moving real fast up that side street, and that side street is like a lot of kids, a lot of families, a lot of shit like that. And you know, if someone had just stumbled out in the street for any reason, that guy he would have hit them. He would have fucking killed them. And he was, I mean, I don't know what he clocked. And right behind him was a motorcycle guy going almost the same speed. They're probably together. And the cop's coming out of a side street, and he sees them both go by. And my eyes went right to him, and I looked at him, and I'm like, you're gonna go get him, right? And he pulls out of the side street and starts heading toward him. And I'm like, oh good, okay, good. And I'm watching, and he takes the fucking next right. He's probably like, fuck you, Holly. I don't work for you. Cause like, but I mean, you know, he let them go. It's like, I hope they don't hit anyone he knows, you know, God forbid. But I mean, cause and effect, when your brain is the size of a fucking pea, you can't figure that shit out. You know, he's just thinking of either being lazy or saying fuck you to me or whatever. He's not thinking that it's possible that, you know, that car could hit someone. Maybe he wouldn't care unless it was one of his loved ones, and then he'd be like, you know, well, you know what, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe he doesn't give a fuck about anything. All I know is if I was, you know, if I was anywhere else in the country, right, I think well, we're not in the country. It's occupied territory here. This is not the United States. It's occupied, man. It's occupied by U.S. government forces. Always has been. This place here. Anyway, yeah, that's what cops do here. I've had them blow me off on shit like that many times. Anyway, this place here is called the Blue Note. And that place sucks. That place is fucking terrible. I went there to see Living Colour, the band, and the tickets were outrageous. I think my friend took me for my birthday, and Craig, the guy I always talk about, the guy that I had on here a couple weeks ago to talk about demons and shit. He got me tickets, and we I don't know, do I want to go all the way up? I'm gonna head back tonight. And me and him went in there, and you know, I'm not gonna go through the whole fucking story, but we were basically just harassed by the staff the whole time. I don't know if they didn't like the way we looked or something, and he sensed it too, right? And we both did. When he came in, they were like, who are these guys? Because I guess in that club there, it's attached to the Outrigger Hotel, so they're probably used to seeing, like, you know, just people on vacation or something, or not rock people, right? So, and that's what it was there. There was like a bunch of, like, you know, just vacationers up front. And I mean, Craig in there going, yeah, screaming. And they kept saying, you know, you guys keep it down, keep it down. We're a rock show, right? Supposedly. And this girl comes up, she's like, yeah, guys, you got to understand, this is a quiet club. And we're like, oh, okay, whatever, that's gay. But we thought she was a manager or something. No, she was a prostitute. They had a couple of prostitutes working in there that I guess work with the hotel. You know, I'm assuming, you know, because she was in with the staff and everything. And she was explaining the etiquette of the club to us, and that we weren't supposed to make noise. We sit and enjoy the show. It's a bar, right? It's a bar. So yeah, we were feeling that when we came in. Yeah, money on it? I like to tip people. Hold on, I'll be back to that. I'll go back to that. I gotta pull my cigarette down too. I don't like to walk near singing and smoking. Santa baby, and hurry down the chimney tonight. So the place, like, they were eyeballing us hard, right? They didn't like us. Like, they weren't used to seeing people like us, I guess. You know, looking the way we do, like riprap. So he goes. So they kept like just harassing us the whole time. Then like my chair was out too far. Then don't lean back on the chairs. He goes to the bathroom, right? And he has all his stuff sitting there. He brought his stuff with him, and he has like a plastic container where he keeps his tobacco because he rolls his own cigarettes. He's one of those guys. I don't have the dexterity for that. But anyway, fucking homeboy comes over and from the staff and starts going through his stuff to see what he had. So I, of course, fucking freak out, and he just kind of smiles at me like, what? And at that point, I knew I had to leave. I knew I had to leave because there was going to be a problem. And when Craig came back from the bathroom, I'm like, dude, I have to go. I can't stay here because I'm going to get arrested. Right. These guys are waiting for us to pop off. So they antagonized us the whole time. He stayed there. I just walked out. And like I said, the tickets were real expensive. Oh, and the drinks, yeah. When we walked in, he wanted to make like a, you know, make something clear. And he was like, yeah, we want top shelf, you know, and he bought some real expensive liquor for us. And he tips very well. You know, I think with our drinks, he gave the guy like an extra 20, you know. So what we were trying to say is, hey, we're not fucking street people. We're here to fucking, because I don't know what they thought. Like, it was weird. You know, we bought tickets, and then the prostitute telling us to be quiet. It's just the most bizarre thing. So finally, I'm like, I have to leave because I'm going to attack someone, and then I'm going to get in trouble, and then I'm going to be in jail or get fucking beat up or killed. And I just have to go. I have to remove myself from that. Says, hey, that's awesome. It's cringe. That's awesome, huh? Merry Christmas, man. That's awesome. But so I had to leave. So I didn't get to see the whole show. I got to see about, I don't know, maybe almost half of it. I was like halfway through the set when I left. And the band were like, what the fuck where are we, you know? And the singer, oh God, what's his name? It's Corey Glover. He's got his hand in his pocket, and he's just like looking around the room like, what the fuck is this? It was like this real, it was weird. It was just such a weird room. You know, the people were making noise up front, but they all looked like sort of like businessmen with hookers themselves. It was really weird. So later he talked to them, and they were like, yeah, that sucked. You know, he said, we're here, you know, we figured we could take our wives on vacation and, you know, do a gig and make some money while we're out here, but this was horrible. It was bad for everybody. But I just, like, I didn't understand why we were treated that way. So we call it the Quiet Club now. Because that's what the prostitute, who we thought was a manager, explained to us. She came over to our table and said, yeah, guys, we like to do, she's saying we in here. So we figured, well, she's a manager. No, she's a working girl that I assume works with the club, right? Like, they know she's in there, and maybe they get a cut of the money. I don't know. But yeah, that sucked real bad. It was awful. Am I going to go into Ross? Yes, of course we're going into Ross, because it's Christmas Eve. If I see what they have in there for action figures. I'm going to walk back toward the beach after this. If anything interesting happens, I'll definitely fire up the old phone here. But if I don't see you, I'll see you. 333. Don't blame the teacher, blame the school.